For centuries, the Arctic has been both a place of wonder and a graveyard for explorers. Its icy waters swallowed ships whole, trapping crews in endless winters and leaving behind legends of survival, mystery, and tragedy. From wooden vessels crushed by shifting ice to ghost ships drifting silently across frozen seas, these wrecks tell stories of human ambition, courage, and the relentless power of nature. Each discovery beneath the ice is like opening a time capsule, offering us a haunting glimpse into the past and the sacrifices made in the pursuit of glory and discovery. HMS Erebus and HMS Terror. In 1845, Sir John Franklin set out with HMS Erebus and HMS Terror to conquer the Northwest Passage, but both ships vanished in the Arctic ice. For over 160 years, the mystery lingered, with only scattered graves and fragments found, along with rumors of starvation and cannibalism. In 2014, HMS Erebus was discovered near King William Island, and 2 years later, HMS Terror was located almost perfectly preserved. Inside were artifacts frozen in time, revealing the crews had abandoned the ships and tried to survive on land. But none made it. Today, both wrecks rest as protected historic sites, preserved by the icy waters. The Breadalbane. In 1853, the British supply ship Breadalbane sailed into the Arctic with food, clothing, and coal to aid the search for Franklin's lost expedition. But in Lancaster Sound, shifting pack ice crushed the ship's hull, and it sank in less than 15 minutes, though the crew escaped onto the ice and survived. For over a century, the wreck lay hidden, until 1980, when divers discovered it near Beechey Island, resting 100 meters below the surface. Remarkably preserved by the icy waters, the masts still stood upright, the deck remained visible, and even rigging survived. Unlike most wrecks that decay in warmer seas, the Breadalbane remains frozen in time, offering a rare glimpse into 19th-century naval life and the dangers of Arctic supply missions. HMS Investigator. As the search for Franklin grew desperate, HMS Investigator under Captain Robert McClure was sent to locate the missing expedition. Pushing deeper into the Arctic than most before, the ship became trapped in ice near Banks Island. For 3 brutal years, the crew endured freezing temperatures, dwindling supplies, and near starvation, surviving only by hunting and strict rationing. In 1853, a rescue party finally reached them, saving the men but leaving the ship abandoned in the frozen bay. For over 150 years, its fate was uncertain, until Parks Canada archaeologists discovered the wreck in 2010. Remarkably preserved, it stands as a haunting monument to the hardships of Arctic exploration. HMS Fury. In 1825, British explorer William Edward Parry set out with 2 ships, HMS Hecla and HMS Fury, to chart waters near Somerset Island. Disaster struck when Fury became trapped in heavy ice, the crushing pressure making repairs impossible. The crew offloaded supplies onto the shore, creating a depot on what became known as Fury Beach. Though forced to abandon the ship, the supplies proved life-saving years later. In 1833, explorer John Ross stumbled upon them and survived. And later, Franklin's search parties also benefited. In 2015, archaeologists confirmed the wreck's remains under icy waters. Though lost, Fury's supplies saved the lives of future explorers. The Karluk. In 1913, explorer Vilhjalmur Stefansson launched the Canadian Arctic expedition aboard the ship Karluk. What began as a scientific mission quickly turned into disaster when the vessel became trapped in drifting ice north of Alaska. For months, the crew watched helplessly as the ice dragged the ship farther from land until the crushing pressure finally sank her. Survivors recalled the haunting image of the masts disappearing beneath the ice. Stranded, the crew attempted to reach safety. Some succeeded, many perished. In 1929, remnants of the Karluk were found on the seabed, preserved in the cold Arctic waters, a grim reminder of the expedition's tragedy. HMS Resolute. HMS Resolute was sent as part of another mission to search for Franklin's missing expedition, but soon became trapped in Arctic ice. After 2 brutal winters, the crew abandoned her and trekked across the ice to safety, leaving the ship locked in the floes. In 1855, an American whaling crew discovered the vessel drifting over 1,000 miles from where she was left, still intact. The U.S. Navy returned her to Britain as a goodwill gesture, a rare symbol of cooperation in a dangerous era of exploration. When retired, her timbers were used to craft desks, including the famous Resolute desk, which still stands in the Oval Office today. The Maud. In 1916, Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen launched an expedition aboard his specially built ship, the Maud. Designed for Arctic conditions, she was intended to drift with the ice across the ocean while gathering scientific data. Though Amundsen succeeded in his research, the expedition left him financially ruined, and the ship was later sold to the Hudson's Bay Company. Renamed Bay Maud, she served as a supply vessel until 1930, when she became trapped in ice near Cambridge Bay and sank. Her wreck remained visible beneath the water for decades until 2016, when she was raised and returned to Norway. Today, Maud is preserved as both a symbol of ambition and resilience in polar exploration. The USS Jeannette. In 1879, the USS Jeannette sailed from San Francisco under George Washington DeLong, aiming for the North Pole. Instead, the ship became trapped in ice and drifted helplessly for nearly 2 years before the crushing pressure destroyed her. The crew attempted a desperate trek across the ice toward Siberia, but many perished along the way, including DeLong himself. Years later, wreckage from the Jeannette washed up on Greenland's coast, proving the vast movement of Arctic ice across oceans. In 2000, researchers rediscovered her remains beneath layers of ice. The Jeannette endures as a powerful reminder of America's early polar ambitions and their heavy cost. The Sadko. In 1937, the Soviet icebreaker Sadko set out to study the Kara Sea, built of steel and designed to withstand Arctic extremes. Yet even modern engineering could not defeat the pack ice that trapped her for months. The crew endured bitter cold, isolation, and dwindling supplies until Soviet aircraft evacuated them, leaving the ship partially locked in the frozen sea. For years afterward, explorers documented her remains, which stood as a grim reminder that the Arctic could humble even the strongest vessels. The story of Sadko shows how the polar wilderness challenged both wooden ships of the past and steel giants of the modern age,